Hey guys, it's John the Vintage Geek, and today I'm going to head into Tate's Comics to see what they have. Tate's is a pretty cool store. They've got all kinds of comics and toys. I love looking at all these old comics. Most of these I already own, so there's nothing really here that... I never find anything here that I need because I have it all in the comic world. Yes, I've been collecting comics from the 60s on up through today. And there's only 4 or 5 issues that I need to have a complete collection of Marvel. So, yeah, they've got everything though. I mean, if you ever need some comics, these guys might be the place to come to check out. I love their wall of art and stuff here. Comics, 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 comics. I like just looking at these old things, you know, I think they're pretty cool. Yeah. Of course, they've got a bunch of, let's go down here. I think they've got a bunch of stuff commemorating the new movie. Some there we go, Captain Marvel, right? That's pretty cool. And I don't really have any of the Captain Marvel stuff because I just didn't collect her things when I was younger. And I haven't gotten any recently. Speaking of superheroes, though, check out this cabinet full of the Avengers. These giant action figures and statues and everything are just incredible. If I was a millionaire, I would, of course, have an entire room full of these. The Mandarin. Because, I mean, they're phenomenal. I can't believe the articulation on some of these large-scale figures. It's just unfreaking believable. Various Iron Man suits, Patriot, and what have you. Stuff from the Avengers film. All the statues. These place has just cabinets upon cabinets upon cabinets of stuff. It's just goes on forever. You would probably get lost. You'd be in here going, I never want to leave. I don't think I can leave. There's too much stuff to look at. Like how can you spend 10 minutes in here? No, you've got to spend hours. It's just, if nothing else, just looking at everything. The realistic detail of a lot of these. I mean, look at his face, the Joker. It looks just like him. I mean, it's just, these things are incredible. I'm a sucker for Batman. I think he looks great. This Joker looks cool. Bang. Oh, wow. Look at these things. And they got the bat signal over here. I'm like, oh my gosh. Wonder Woman stuff. Looks just like her. I mean, look at the hair. Holy cow. That's amazing, right? This Batman has like 50 points of articulation, I think it said. Pretty cool. Or maybe it was that Batman. One of them did. Flash, Robin, more Batman stuff. Flash. They got Dr. Doom down here. Oh my gosh. This Spider-Man set was amazing. You got Spider-Gwen fighting Carnage at the bottom. And then you've got Spider-Man fighting Venom at the top. It was Rocket, Lady Deadpool, which is really nice looking statue there. And of course Deadpool himself is up here with his nice red afro. That's awesome. These figures were just, it's unbelievable. I mean, these things, the statues and figures are so cool. Wolverine stuff, the original X-Men busts. Speaking of superheroes, they got some superpowers stuff. Yeah, this place, Tate's, has new and old action figures. Vintage and modern. Some superpowers vehicles and some things in the boxes. RoboCop, Aliens. What is it, Judge Dredd going into The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Transformers. Check this out. Here's the Japanese Omega Supreme. And yes, there's G.I. Joe 2, the USS Flag. This is just awesome. You get everything if you can afford it. Bunch of old G.I. Joe vehicles, space stuff. I don't know. I don't even know what this is. It was after my time, I think. But nice statues of Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Whole bunch of package 2000X G.I. Joe, and then we have original loose figures. There's a lot of really nice loose figures in here. They're a little bit beyond what I collected. I was like maybe the first 3-4 series. So these are a little bit beyond what I collected. There's only a couple that are in my era. And then over here, look at this, look at this, look at this. There's a Bridge Slayer. Bridge Layer! I almost picked this up, but I couldn't. I was looking for Star Wars today. We'll get to them. We'll get to them. I promise we're getting to Star Wars. I was tempted by some of these Transformers, though, because I have always wanted a Predaking. And what did I see here but 3 pieces of Predaking, the Predacons. And they're not that bad. 20, 25, and 12, I think, were the prices on those the pieces of Predaking. They're not complete, so that's why they're inexpensive. But look at this place. The aisles go on forever. Aliens, Gremlins, Ninja Turtles. Oh, this is just, I was just blown away. Look at these Thundercat stuff, the pizza shooter from Ninja Turtles, Sectars. Oh, when I saw Sectars, I almost flipped my lid, man. I so want that guy. I do. Him and this one here. I want him so much. I can't really tell you. They're just a little bit pricey for I can't believe how much they are now. Clash of the Titans, original Clash of the Titans, Brave Star, Ghostbusters, an original Dungeons and Dragons figure. I was like, holy crap. Look at this Twiki. Bitty 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 buck. Bitty 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 buck. Shredder and Krang. Ninja Turtle stuff. Oh, Thundercats. Wasn't that like the Hall of Olympus? Or I don't remember what it was called, but it was something from that series or whatever. He-Man things. The Snake Mountain. Slime would come out of that snake, right? I always wanted this Wind Raider. I was thinking about that. Zor. Beastman. I want a Beastman still, but no. I didn't want to spend that much. Loose figures over there. We got some more Sectars, individual small guys. They even have like all these old carded things. Muscle Men. Wow. Tons of alien stuff. A whole bunch of aliens. I wanted to take another look at that Inhumanoids guy. That was so cool. And let's check out some of these Ninja Turtle. The blimp, man. Look at that. The blimp. The sewer play set. That's so cool. And there's the box for the blimp. So you get the blimp and the box. It's so awesome. I haven't seen one of those blimps since I was a little kid, you know. But Tate's has everything. I mean, look at all these Gundam and Japanese style mechs and bots and stuff. You get like Power Rangers things. I mean, the dragon. Wow, look at the dragon. All these things. I had all this stuff, man. I had an entire set of the first 2 waves of Power Rangers. Wow. Look at all this. Whoa. There are statues everywhere. And now I'm going to walk you back because I think we're going to end up where you want to really be. A bunch of pops and all kinds of stuff. If you want a pop, come here. But the Star Wars section. Check this out. If you want a Star Wars pop, come here. But look, it goes all the way up to the ceiling. There's just so much Star Wars stuff here. You would go ape. Star Trek, giant, Incredible Hulk back there. But yeah, Han Frozen and Carbonite. You can get all these, like, they put together these packs, which are kind of neat. You can get a bundle. If you want a bundle, troop build or whatever, you can get a bunch of different things. They got loose figures galore. So if you need a few extra figures, this is where you go. Building a diorama, doing something with 6-inch Black Series or 3 3/4 inch There is just a limitless supply. It's unbelievable. We'll get to the cabinets in a minute. Check out all this stuff up on top and going all the way around. They even have the display for the lightsabers from Toys R Us. $500 for it, but still. Oh, Land of the Jawas. That's so cool. All kinds of bagged vintage Star Wars play sets and vehicles. All just hanging up here. It's just so much to go through, so much to look at. All these nice statues and busts from Star Wars. Bounty Hunters, those are some of my favorites. I'd love to have that set. Droids, the busts. I wouldn't be so much into the busts. I guess I would get a Yoda one because Yoda's my guy. But this Boba Fett thing, oh my gosh. If I had the money, I would have taken him home. The likeness on some of these figures is just incredible too. This Luke and the Imperial Royal Guard, those just look amazing. As well as these guys. I mean, look at that Emperor on his throne room. Holy cow. The Darth Vaders were awesome. Tarkin back there was cool. And here's Yoda, my guy. Yoda. Yoda. Oh, I was just blown away by some of these. Wow. All the new modern ones, of course. And there'll be even more. Let's take a look at the case. Got some pretty cool things in here. I like that helmet. It's just a bunch of cool stuff, you know. So much to look at. And that's pretty cool just to have, even though I didn't like those little viewer things, you know. A bunch of droids, plates, various other collectibles. I was just blown away. This store, every time I come in, it blows me away. Too bad today they didn't have any vintage carded figures, like original ones from the vintage time. They have vintage series that are more, you know, the 2000s, but they don't. The only vintage figures they had were were loose in a case, and I'll get to that in a minute here. Bunch of like bagged ships from the modern era, prequel era, I guess you could say, and the Battle of Geonosis, the entire playset. That thing's huge. Massive. I was tempted by that Slave 1. We'll get to those. The Hoth set, the Endor set. Here we go. Alright, I'll do it. There we go. So these are the vintage loose figures they have, complete with weapons and everything. Pretty good condition. And these go back like 10 deep. So it's not just what you see at the front surface here. There are figures going back. So they've got hundreds or thousands of Star Wars figures if you need anything. You know, this is the place to find a loose figure. You can see it there, how far back they go. But they've got almost everything except for probably the last 17. And just a couple of the last 17 there. But I usually see a lot more vintage packaged items here, but today they just seem to be completely out. But there's still a lot of the vintage loose, a couple of boxed mini rigs there, and they do have some inexpensive loose figures. You know, there's a couple here, $5, that range, which are you know, always nice to see in case you've got some filler you need to do. I like to look through them and see if there's anything I could use, but not today. I wouldn't mind one of these Hoth sets, but I'd like it if they weren't yellowed. There's a couple they were yellowed. Modern, well, I guess you could call it modern era figures. Stuff from the prequels, Black Series, all kinds of stuff. They've got a whole aisle full of it. If you really need a Clone Wars figure, the prequel era figure, or some of those 90s to 2000s, this is, wait till you see it. It's just wham. All the ships and vehicles and stuff. Cool things hanging from, like, there's a Falcon, a freaking full-size Falcon. Not really full-size, but you know what I mean. But yeah, this is it. Look at all these packaged figures, and they go back on the pegs, you know, 7, 8, 10 deep. It's incredible. Well, there you go, guys. This is going to be the end. This is Tate's Comics in South Florida. And I tell you, if you really need something and you're down here, This is where you got to go. What did I pick up? That Land of the Jawas set. $45. I could not pass it up. This is a really cool looking set. And I mentioned to one of the guys that I was building a diorama and needed a couple more Chewbacca's. And he gave me a Black Series Chewbacca for $10. Awesome!